Hi guys, welcome to the Four Kings One War Combat Room. I'm Glyn, and today we're talking about the Mighty Pawn. The Mighty Pawns are your front line. Valued at 2 points, they're the lowest value piece and are the most limited in the way they move. These pieces are staunch, and there's a lot of complexity to such a simplistic piece, so value this resource. Pawns are solid in defense and ruthless in attack, and they have a unique ability to be promoted. You will need to watch the video on pawn promotion and king release to ensure you are familiar with this very important rule. With regards to resource, pawns form your forward defensive line and are your hand-to-hand combat. You have 8 for each regiment, 8 on the left and 8 on the right. Pawns can move 1, 2 or 3 squares on every move, and can only move in a forward direction. They cannot move backwards and they cannot move sideways. They can only take on a forward diagonal. They cannot move 2 squares forward and then take, as it can only be on their immediate forward diagonal. You will notice that each pawn will intersect somewhere in the middle of the arena with another from the same army, where they are both protecting each other on a forward diagonal. So you can create what we call bunkers in the middle of the board, where your opponent can only get rid of them by using 2 moves in one of their turns, and taking both pawns out at the same time. Because your pawns are your frontline pieces, they are governed by a rule that ensures they always have the option to fight. This is called the en passant. In this example, the green pawn advances past the yellow pawn's forward diagonal, where had it stepped up to it, the yellow pawn would have been able to take it. Protecting the rule of always having the option to fight, providing it is on the very next turn, the en passant allows the yellow pawn to take the green pawn on the way past, removing the green pawn from play and moving to the forward diagonal square. The sweep is a maneuver that allows you to protect your pawn from being taken impassedly. In this example, the same green pawn once again advances past the yellow pawn's forward diagonal, exposing it to being taken impassedly. However, if on the second move a backline piece, and that's any backline piece, touches or passes over the forward diagonal, it is essentially shielding the pawn from being taken impassedly and therefore performing what we call a sweep. Sweeps are incredibly rewarding to pull off, and done well are considered advanced strategic play. Here is another example of the en passant and the sweep. The green pawn advances forward, passing the white pawn's forward diagonal. Using the en passant rule, on the very next turn the white pawn takes the green pawn on the way past, therefore removing it from play and stepping onto the forward diagonal. In the same scenario, the green pawn advances forward, passing the white pawn's forward diagonal and exposing it to the en passant. However, on the second move, the rook defends the pawn by passing over the forward diagonal and blocking the en passant, therefore performing a sweep. Pawns can only travel forward and never change direction, unless in Four Kings One War they step onto an outer terrace. If for any reason they step onto an outer terrace, and that's any outer terrace, including one of your own, it then changes direction and moves towards the back line of the terrace it stepped onto. If a pawn makes it to a back line, and that could be your own back line, it gets promoted or releases the king, and you will need to watch the video on pawn promotion to get up to speed. So the pawn is a very mighty warrior, and you should manage this resource well. Thanks for joining us at the Four Kings One War Combat Room. I'm Glyn, that's the pawn, and if you think you're a strategist, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and website to stay up to date with the latest videos in this collection.